Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. In particular, as I always do, I want to address the censors who monitor the community guidelines within TikTok. So over the last few months, there have been several instances where you interrupted, stopped, our podcasts or limited views. And there are several reasons that you did that that are huge misunderstandings that I want to clear up with you before I begin the next podcast. Effectively, one of the things you said is that somehow you thought this was disordered eating. Nothing could be farther from the truth because this is the only protocol other than the drugs, other than pharmaceuticals, with actual peer-reviewed human trial published studies. This protocol called protein pacing, which is also a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office. U.S. Patent Office does not give out registered trademarks to things that are unhealthy to human beings. It's also now published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world dealing with weight loss and health. It is not a diet. It has nothing to do with dieting. As a matter of fact, 5 days a week, people are having 4 meals a day, and 2 days a week, they're actually having 8 meals a day. So it has nothing to do with disordered eating. That is completely false. It is a detox. Number two, you had said that there was some concern about body dysphoria, that we were promoting that, or body image problems. Again, this is a detox. It has nothing to do with dieting, and we teach people the big fallacy is they don't get fatter. We make sure they understand that. We have the same number of fat cells at puberty we do when we die, and our fat cells expand or contract. That's it. And as we're living in this world now, we're breathing, drinking, eating chemicals. As they enter the body takes the chemical and stuffs it inside the fat cell, and the fat cell expands. We don't add fat cells or reduce fat cells. There's no such thing as burning fat on a diet or burning fat at the gym. That's just not true. So we prove to people when we show them that the bloating that they may have or experience is caused by the body warning them and telling them, hey, you're toxic, you're storing things inside your body. So it has nothing to do with body image or body dysphoria. Number three, you'd said that we were diverting people away from TikTok to buy products. There are no products to buy. There've never been products to buy. We don't have any products to buy. You can go to our website, The New Health Conversation, and you can see for yourself there's nothing to buy there. I'm the author of 4 best-selling books. None of my books are even there. Last but not least, you said there was some concern or question about was this original material or copyrighted material. The head scientist, the one who created this protocol and got published in 10 of the journals, we interview him, and then he also said they want us to publish their studies on our website, which we've done, so that they're in the public domain and everybody can see them. So we hope that all of these, what I just went over with you, so there's no disordered eating, there's no problem with body image, we're not diverting people to buy products, and this is original copyrighted material that we have the permission to publish. Thank you very much. I hope that clears up anything. Well, good morning, Rosemary. Hello, Run Quill. Hello, Jojo. Hello, Dr. Harris. Hello, Traceal. Hello, Jewel. Dr. Harris again is still loading. Again, everybody, I want to welcome you to the New Health Conversation. It is live. It's not pre-recorded. I'm not AI. I'm a real person. And I want to start right out by saying that this protocol, other than pharmaceuticals, is the only one we can find anywhere on social media with actual medical studies. This protocol, which is called protein pacing, which is also a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office, it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals for weight loss and health in the world, in things like the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrition Journal, Nutrients Journal, and Nature Communications, which is one of the top medical journals in the world. And the research was done on the gut. This is not a diet. The weight loss is unbelievable. It's very dramatic. And and they measured it. People, instead of them losing lean muscle, they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. Look, she dropped 60 pounds in 90 days with this revolutionary natural detox. This is a detox. It is not a diet. We'll get into all that in a month. There are no products. There are no pills. There's no dieting. And again, it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Who invented it? Not us. It was invented by the top weight loss researchers. They're rated the top weight loss researchers in the world for more than 40 years. They've done over 100 studies, thousands of people, never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. And 2/3 of everybody on every diet gained more weight than they lost. And the medical proof is clear. On all these diets, 25 to 40% of what everybody's losing is lean muscle mass. Not on this. By the way, no one on this was allowed to, they wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise, just to show you how powerful this actually was. I know, funny, it looks like two different girls, but it's the daughter of a friend of mine. I'll show you some other pictures where the same. Excuse me, I got some allergies going here this morning. It is the same girl. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. I'll show you another example. Like here's Julie, for example. Um, if you look at her face, it looks like a completely different person. But again, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days and gained 9% lean muscle. She's kept it off for 9 years. This is not a diet. This will make every diet obsolete. And I would challenge anybody on here, to show me anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence other than the pharmaceutical companies. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody show me anybody on TikTok with one shred of medical evidence behind keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, etc.? The studies that have been done on those diets show how pitiful and unbelievably ineffective they actually are. Listen, right now we have a projection from Johns Hopkins Medical School right here. Study predicts obesity apocalypse in 4 years. They estimate 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese in just 4 years. This is going to revolutionize everything. And again, like I said, it took over 40 years of research, and I'll explain to you how it works and why it works in just a moment. But first, I just wanted to lay down the groundwork. Jay Calling, there are no products. Let me explain it to you, I promise. Give me a second, all right? So Jay Calling, the point is, that's what people would think. Read in the headline, no pills or products. No pills or products. If we go back to the first picture, again, there were no products, no pills, no dieting. This is revolutionary. It's based on food and a new way of eating. So we're going to go over it right now. So the researchers who created it had been paid for they did over 40 years of research being paid to analyze diets. They never found one that worked. So what they did, they found other researchers that had gone to these remote areas in the world where nobody was overweight. They found areas in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, where nobody was overweight. And there was one commonality between all these people. The foods they consumed simply had inordinate, enormous amounts of nutrition and nutrients that were native just to those areas in the rest of the world. So what the researchers did, they put together a new eating, first of all, 30% of what you would get on this, you'd go to your grocery store, you're going to have a grocery list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. There are no products. You're not buying products. You're buying food, okay? But only 30% of whatever you spent total last month, you're going to buy at your grocery store. So less than a third of what you're going to eat would come from your grocery store, even if it's organic. The other 70% comes from these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, representing enormous amounts of nutrition that the researchers call the world's most perfect foods from a nutritional standpoint. Collectively, they have around 300 different nutrients. So unless you're on a prescription for low iron or calcium, you don't need any supplements at all. That's the secret to this. So now you had what she was going to eat. But that's not the answer. The other answer is a brand new, a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, a new way of eating called protein pacing. So 5 days a week, she actually had 4 meals a day. She started in the morning with breakfast with the world's most perfect foods. No food from the grocery store. Lunch and dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal, the world's most perfect foods. Now, before you go, oh my God, you're eating too much food, get that out of your mind. This is totally different. See, the biggest fallacy, one of the biggest lies being told to people is somehow that counting calories controls your weight. It's horse manure. Your body doesn't know what a calorie is. It's never counted a calorie ever. The only thing your body can ever calculate and use is nutrition. So the point is that here's how this works. Basically, these people ate less food with more nutrition. That's it. That's the simple formula. But you're not going to do it even if you go and I shop at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or whatever organics you might use anywhere else in the world. But you also have to send some of these nutrients that are in this, like in Mongolia, lower stress in the body, and other ingredients that come from the Himalayas, lower inflammation, which we have the medical proof proving this lowered inflammation by 25% in a month. This is unheard of. No diet's ever done it. This is not a diet. So this has nothing to do with products. It's food. Again, 30% you're going to get from your grocery store of whatever you spent last month. The other 70% of the money goes towards these exotic foods. Now, 5 days a week, like I said, 4 meals a day, starting with breakfast, the world's most perfect meal, a lunch and dinner from the grocery, and a fourth meal. 2 days a week, here comes the detox. Now, let me pause for just a moment. Are you all aware that every night when you go to sleep, as long as you don't eat too late, your body all but stops digestion, which it has to do, and turns on a natural detox mechanism called autophagy when your body gets rid of the dead cells? Well, the researchers felt they could do this with these food combinations. So what they did, 2 days out of 7 each week until she lost her weight. She had no food from the grocery store, only these world's most perfect foods. This time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Before anybody panics, says, oh my God, no, the diabetics on this, instead of their insulin spiking, they saw like insulin need in a month come down by over 50% in the diabetics that were monitored by their doctors. Okay, this is all in the medical studies. See, what's different about what I'm sharing with you, this is back, everything I'm telling you is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals for weight loss and health in the world. So nothing is an opinion. If you want opinions, you got plenty of people on TikTok that'll give you opinions with one shred of medical evidence behind keto, paleo, Mediterranean, whatever the hell diet it is. None of them work long term. My God, we're looking in 4 years at 86% of Americans being overweight or obese in 4 years. Do you really think diets work? So let me keep going. What else did they find in the studies? How do they know it's a detox? Because after each 48 hours, they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved without a shadow of a doubt this was removing chemicals from the body. It was our body that was doing it because there are no products. You're just eating food, but in a completely different way. So it really mattered how much food, when you ate it, the pattern. They call them new eating patterns called protein pacing. You all can look it up, Google it. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. I hope for most of it this is really shocking because again, you're trying to wrap your head around calorie counting, what products are. There are no products. You're buying food and a new way of eating. That's it. And the other things that they saw, not only did it remove toxins, but blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically. For the first time ever, they measured inflammation. And inflammation, which plagues every one of us, came down 25% in a month, unheard of. And then maintenance, so simple. Morning, like this morning, I had the world's most perfect food for breakfast. I'll have a lunch and dinner, and every 2 months, I do another 48-hour detox. Because we're storing chemicals in our fat cells. As a matter of fact, there's a new medical syndrome you all probably aren't aware of called the TDOS syndrome. It's a registered trademark by the U.S. Patent Office. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. Every living, breathing person in the world has this syndrome. It was discovered by this researcher, Peter Greenlaw. Oh, that's me, everybody. So I discovered a medical syndrome, registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office that every person in the world has. Maybe you want to listen to what I'm saying, maybe you don't. That's up to you. All I can tell you is our job is to make you aware. We have no products to sell you. If you go to our website, and there's the website right above her head there in red, or I'm going to type it in the bottom. If you go to that website, there's nothing to buy. There's an interview with the #1 weight loss researcher in the world, and it's called 60 Minutes. It'll change your life. I'll tell you this, 100% of the people that watch that interview, they want to do this process. Now, if you go to the website, we will not contact you. But if you like what you see, scroll down. You get a free coach, free consultation the whole time. How much is the consultation? $0. How much is the coaching? $0. The New Health Conversation, which started 23 years ago by me, we've helped 800,000 people in 23 years. Did you hear what I said? 800,000, not 8,000. And I'll be honest with you, for over 20 some years, we didn't have the peer-reviewed studies. All we had was anecdotal evidence like everybody else. But now, and some of these studies started back in 2010, 16 years ago, they cost millions of dollars and take a long time to come to fruition. So now we have the medical proof that nobody else has other than the pharmaceutical companies on the drugs. And we'll take a look at the difference between the GLP-1s and this as far as the effectiveness of it. We'll do that in a couple minutes. But I wanted to walk everybody through first what was involved. Because people think, oh, what are the products? There are no products. You're eating food and a new way of eating. And I'll promise you, you can lose as much weight in 4 days on this as 6 weeks of any diet. I'll prove it to you. I'll do some free consultations. If you want to tell me how you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast, how much weight you can lose in 4 days and how quickly you can get to your weight. And based on 800,000 people, medical, what you should weigh. Most people so overestimate what they should weigh versus what they could weigh to be as healthy as you possibly want to be. I would hope you're on this. First of all, I'm going to say this. I don't think anybody would be on this podcast right now. If you'd found a diet where you lost weight and kept it off, I don't think you'd be on here. Sandra, did you hear, Sandra? I just went over the detox. How to sign up. Here's the website, everybody, that you can go to for free. By the way, we sell you nothing. We don't have any products. But we give you the food list you take to your grocery store and show you how to get the foods from these other researchers who'd gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, and New Zealand. So let me do some free consultations here for everybody first. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay, hello. I know there's lots of people. It's not that I didn't say hi because I don't want to, but I'm so busy trying to get all this data to you, all of you, okay? Okay, Espinosa. I promise I'll circle back Espinosa and go over again, but I just finished. Basically, Espinosa, this is based on food. There are no products. 5 days a week, you're going to eat 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, you're going to eat 8 meals a day. And I'll explain all that, how it allows your own body to detox. There are no products, everybody. So there's no lotions, potions, pills, elixirs. This is based on food and a new way of eating. So let me show you the impact. Maria, I'm 5'9", 220 ODD. I'm not quite sure what that means. Anyway, if you're 5'9", you're really tall, a great weight for you is going to be no more than about 150. That's 70 pounds. Maria, the first 4 days, you're going to lose 8 to 10 pounds. The first month, you're probably going to lose 25 pounds. That's going to drop you down to 195 after 1 month. The second month, it may slow down a little bit, 175 after 2 months, 155 after 3 months. So basically, let's say 3 months and a week, you're going to be 150. Tell me, Maria, how excited would you be about those numbers? We see it. Well, look, she lost 60 pounds in 90 days. 60 pounds in 90 days. I mean, look at that, right? Okay, so Jay Calling, sorry, Andrea. I'm 5'3", 268. Okay, Andrea, 5'3", maximum you want to be is about 115. That means 153 pounds. Okay, so Andrea, the first 4 days, get ready. You're going to lose 10 to 12 pounds. The first month, you should lose 30 pounds. So 238 after 1 month. Probably slow down a little bit the second month, probably 25 pounds. 238 is going to drop you down to 213. The fourth month, again, 25 more pounds to get you down to about 213. So what's that, 180, let's see, 213 less 20 would be 193. So yeah, about 184, 189. Okay, Andrea, let's keep going. So 3 months in, 189. Um, the fourth month you should be 179, 179. Fourth month, 159. So basically, you're going to lose about 100 and some pounds in about 6 months. That's the average on this, Andrea. Put it in the chat how excited you are about that. Jay Calling, 5'9", 195. You're very tall, Jay Calling. For you, a great weight is going to be, again, maximum like 150. So Jay Calling, that's 45 pounds. Get ready. First 4 days, you're going to lose 7 to 10 pounds. You'll lose at least 20 pounds the first month. 175 after 1 month. Basically 150. So a little bit over 2 months, Jay Calling, you should be at 150. Tell me how excited you are about that, okay? All right, L. Patrick, 5'2", 185, 5'2". You want to be around 110. That's 75 pounds. L. Patrick, first 4 days, 6 to 8 pounds. First month for you, minimum 20 pounds. 165 after 1 month, 145 after 2 months, 125 after 3 months. 125, you should drop another 50, 125, about 110. You should be there in about 4.5 months. L. Patrick, put it in the chat how excited you are about that. Sandra Espinosa. Okay, Sandra, I'm 5'5", 270. At 5'5", Sandra, you want to be a maximum about 120. That's 150 pounds. Sandra, first 4 days, 8 to 10 pounds. First month, 30 pounds. You should be 240. It'll slow a little bit. Second month, 215. Third month, it'll drop a little bit. 195. Fourth month, 175. Fifth month, 155. 6 months, 135. So about 7.5 months, I'd say 8 months max, you should be right at about 120. Sandra, put it in the chat. Please, everybody, put it in the chat. And if you like the content, tap on the screen so I can get some more love, okay? All right? L. Patrick, I'm female, 5'2", 185, 5'2", again, 110, 75 pounds. I did you, L. Patrick, sorry. Candace Anthony, 5'2", 215. Again, 110, 105 pounds. Candace, you should lose in the first 4 days 8 or 10 pounds. The first month, you're probably going to lose 30 pounds. That'll get you down to 185 after 1 month, about 160 after 2 months, 140 after 3 months, 120 after 4 months. Basically, in about 4.5 months, you're going to be at your goal, Candace. Tell me how excited you are about that. That's it, everybody. Give me some love. Give me some hearts. I know, Andrea, you'd love that, but we see it all the time. Don't get good, Jay Calling. I'm very excited. Curse Necrofear. I'm 5'8", 280. I just don't know if you're male or female. Can you tell me? Because it matters some. So please tell me if you're male or female. I would love those results. Everybody, what's the website? Here it is right here. I'm typing it below your name. And keep in mind, if you go there, we don't contact you. The only way we'll contact you is if you like what you see, because there's only medical proof. There's nothing to buy there. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. It says free consultation. The consultation is free. It's zero. The coaching is zero. We sell you nothing. We all got coached, and the New Health Conversation, the movement, it's a movement. It's a movement. It's not a company. There's no products to buy. You're going to buy food, and you're going to get coached, and you're going to learn a whole new way of eating. Okay, so oh, male. Okay. I just wanted to clarify this. 5'8", 280. All right, at 5'8", at 160 would be a great weight for you. That's going to be 120 pounds. Curse, the first 4 days, 10 to 12 pounds. First month for you, minimum 30 pounds. 250 after 1 month, probably 220 after 2 months. It'll slow down a little bit. 220. So the third month, I expect to see you 220, about 195. The fourth month, it could slow a little bit, 175. So basically in 5 months, Curse, there's no reason at all you can't be right around 160. Put in the chat, how excited would you be about that? And you're not going on a diet. There are no products to buy. There's no dieting. No one's even allowed to exercise. They wear Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. You all can go to that website for free. There's nothing to buy there. The only thing there is a medical proof, and you get to decide, not us. You get to decide. You look at the medical proof and then you see. Let me ask some of you some questions, any of you that I've helped right now. So whether it's L Lipstick or Curse, L Patrick or Curse, can you do me a favor, or Susie or any of you, put in the chat, are you aware of anybody on social media that you've ever seen until right now with any medical proof at all? Please help me out. Just give me a yes or no. So Curse, Necrophere, have you ever seen anyone with any medical proof on TikTok or YouTube or any of these channels showing you that what they're talking about is backed by medical studies? This is published in 10 of the biggest medical studies for weight loss in the world, and it was done by the top weight loss researchers in the world who were paid for 40 years to analyze diets. In those 40 years, they never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. Can you give any concept at all? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Cursed, I have not until now. Monica, I promise, I think what you want me to do is explain how they did it. Is that correct? I'm just confused by your question. Can you give any concept at all? All right, so let me go over, everybody, how they did this. Also, L. Patrick, have you seen anybody on TikTok with any medical proof until right now in this moment? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you all have a choice. Your choice is you can go with people giving you opinions on social media, because that's what they're giving you. Without any medical proof, it's just an opinion, right? Or you can go with medical proof and go to the website and see it for free, and we're not even going to contact you. Why wouldn't you do that for your own benefit, for crying out loud? Okay, so Andrea completed my request. Oh, great, Andrea. And Andrea, will you tell everybody there's nothing to buy on that website so they understand it's not some scam? Andrea, please give me a yes or no. There's nothing to buy on the website. Am I correct? She just went there, everybody. Okay, so Monica, let me go over it with you. Please, everybody, just be patient. It takes me a couple minutes to explain it. This isn't some diet where you're counting calories and you're getting a grocery list. That has nothing to do with that. We actually are getting a grocery list. Okay, so it was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world who were paid for 40 years to try and find a diet that worked. They never found a diet that worked, and they said, wait a minute, there's got to be some place in the world where no one's overweight. They found other researchers that had gone to these remote areas in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and they did find people, nobody there was overweight. And the secret was so simple. The foods those people had available to them simply had huge amounts of nutrition, therefore they ate less food. Now those foods, those nutrients are not available anywhere else in the world in your grocery store. So the researchers who'd gone and found these people were using these nutrients, but they'd never put it together really in any type of a pattern to see if people could lose weight. It was just like, oh, here are really rich foods. They didn't understand it. But these other researchers recognized that, wait a minute, what if we create a new eating pattern based on these incredibly high dense nutrient foods and regular food? So here's how it would work. Take your total food budget for all of you concerned about how much is it? I'm going to tell you right now. You're buying food, but only 30% of whatever you spent last month at the grocery store, that's all you're going to buy, and you're going to need a list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Got it, everybody? That's 30% of what you're going to spend and what you're going to eat. The other 70% of your money goes towards these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, representing these enormous amounts of nutrition to the point where the researchers call those food groups the world's most perfect foods from a nutritional standpoint. They have about 300 different nutrients. So unless you're on a prescription for low iron or calcium, you don't need any supplements at all in this. Okay, then they invented a new way of eating, the detox. Here's how it works, and it has a name. It's called protein pacing. You all can Google it. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, all right? What happens is 5 days a week, she or you'd have 4 meals a day. You'd start with the world's most perfect food for breakfast, no food from your grocery store, lunch and dinner from your grocery store, and a fourth meal, the world's most perfect foods. And yes, it's 4 meals. Don't panic. You're eating way less food than you used to because you've got all of this nutrition with your breakfast and your last meal of the day. Then 2 days a week, here comes the detox. No food from your grocery store, only these exotic foods are the world's most perfect foods. This time she ate 8 times a day. What? The diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. People who weighed 400 pounds weren't hungry. If I can teach you anything, it's this. You have never in your life ever been hungry for a calorie. That is the dumbest thing man ever came up with. It's a measurement in a laboratory. You cannot be hungry for calories. You've never craved a calorie. All these people telling you about a calorie deficit is total nonsense. Absolute junk, nonsense, okay? And so this, they proved that by having her eat 8 times a day, these foods around the world, they could give her really small amounts of food with huge amounts of nutrition. Now, why did that matter? Because every night when you go to sleep, unless you know it or not, your body all but stops digestion, which it has to do in order to turn on a natural detox mechanism called autophagy when your body gets rid of the dead cells. Well, they felt they could do the same thing with this, but they couldn't do it with regular food. Because with this, they could give her tiny amounts of food, but they had huge amounts of nutrition, and they proved that they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, and proved this is removing toxins from the body. That's why you think it's a different woman, because she shrank so much. Most women on this is a whole dress size in the first week with no exercise. Men, 2 to 4 inches off your waist. I lost 8 inches off my waist in 14 days 23 years ago, where in 7 weeks I lost 40 pounds and I've kept it off for 23 years. This is not a diet, everybody. It's a detox. How many of you believe we're living in a toxic world? Or more importantly, how many of you believe that you're toxic? Give me a yes in the comments. Because we are. We're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals as they enter the body. The body takes that chemical and stuffs it inside your visceral fat. You're not getting fatter. The bloating you experience is because your very existing fat cells, by the way, they're the same at puberty they are when you die. So don't let anybody tell you you're burning fat on a diet or at the gym. It's just horse manure. It's not scientifically, it's nonsense. But your fat cells can expand or contract. Do you know in this protocol, in about 6 weeks, the visceral fat, that's where the body stores the chemicals, it shrank by 33% and no one was allowed to exercise. Like in her case, she went 3 months, she lost 60 pounds. She lost 5 pounds a week, average 5 pounds a week. How many of you would give anything to lose 5 pounds in a month, let alone in a week? This is going to change the world. You can change your world. It's not a product. It's like nothing you've ever done before. And you need free coaching, which we supply to you. We all got coached for free. And we're very blessed because people going on this, having life-changing experiences and coming to us and say, I want to be a coach. And so you get a free coach. We got coached for free. I know it sounds too good to be true, but again, go to the damn website and look at the medical proof, including an interview with the rated #1 nutritional scientist, weight loss scientist in the world. Listen to what he says. They'll never recommend a traditional diet ever again. They invented this. Guess what? They have no products. They don't have a company. We don't have any products. You don't buy anything from us. You go into your grocery store, 30% of what you spent last month, and 70% of those dollars go to these foods you can't buy in any grocery store anywhere in the world. Now, do you understand? Who was asking me the question? No, it's not linked to Cursed Nickerfeta. No, the website is not. My bio actually says, I think it says at the New Health Conversation. You don't want to go there. That won't get you where you need to go. You can absolutely do exercise on the program. The only reason, listen, Jay calling, why didn't they do exercise? Because they wanted to eliminate it. Otherwise, you'd be saying, oh, they lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, you absolutely can exercise. But again, probably the intensity of your exercise, you're going to be able to do less exercise and get a better benefit. That's why you get a coach. The coaching's free. You understand? Imagine if you could go to the gym and they'll give you a free personal trainer. Would you take it? But with this, you need the coach. And they're going to also give you what the researchers had given to her. This is what they all followed called the blueprint for success. All these yellows here you're seeing, they're actually the daily videos from the researchers explaining to you this is why it works and why it's healthy. They have no products. They don't have a company. They have no dog in this hunt. But they agreed to team up with us to let us use exactly what they did. They want to help as many people as they can. And they don't have anything to sell you. They have no products. They're scientists. They spent 40 years of their lives chasing the silver bullet for obesity. They found it, and they're now recognized as this is going to change the world. Any of you that want to go on a diet, good luck. 2/3 are going to end up weighing more than you did when you started. You don't believe me? Here's a big study in Medicare. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Our researchers at Medicare looked at long-term outcomes of diets and found that 2/3 of all dieters on any diet gained more weight than they lost. That's all of you. 2/3 are going to gain more. Do whatever you want to do. It's not up to us. We don't have anything to sell you. Do you want to change your life or not? Or do you want to keep screwing around with these diets? They're really nice people on social media. I see medical doctors and chiropractors and fitness trainers and health coaches and weight loss coaches. They don't have a shred, a scintilla of medical evidence. I'll ask any of you, Jay Calling, are you aware of anybody on TikTok or social media with one shred of medical evidence? Yes or no? Just give me a yes or no. I'm easy to get along with. Jay Calling, the coaches are going to give you the grocery list you take to your grocery store, and then they'll show you how to get these exotic foods, and then they teach you how to do this. Jay Calling, it doesn't do you any good. If you're going to cook something, Jay Calling, if you have the ingredients and you don't have a recipe, what are you going to make? The recipe is what you do on a daily basis. There are certain amounts you're going to have at certain times. It's all laid out. There's nothing you have to guess. The coaches will go over all that with you for free, and they'll coach you the whole time, Jay Calling, for free. Free. How much is the coaching? $0. Sounds too good to be true. Jolo, the next step, right here, I'm going to type it for all of you. Right here, you go to this website. I just typed it in the chat for all of you. Also, it's time for me to introduce myself so you don't think I'm just some crazy person. Well, maybe you still think I'm a crazy person. But I want to show you my bio. And I'm not telling you this to impress you, but it's important you understand I'm not just some guy. I've spent 23 years of my life as a nutritional researcher working with some of the top medical doctors, researchers, oncologists, molecular biologists, geneticists, nutraceutical chemists in the world. So here's my bio, everybody. 4 best-selling books of some of the biggest medical doctors in the world, 20 appearances on public broadcasting, over 1,500 live lectures around the world in hospitals and universities. Heck, they even flew me to China, and I was a keynote speaker at Autism One in Chicago, the largest autism conference in the world, 2 years in a row. So I kind of got a little bit of credibility. That's me. And by the way, on the website, my books aren't for sale. I'm not selling you books, so you can't buy any books on my website. Forget it. We don't do that. But I want you to understand, I'm bringing you only medical science. Nothing is my opinion. I don't want you to believe me. Why would you need to believe me when I'm holding them in my hand, 10, published in 10 of the biggest medical journals for weight loss and health in the entire world. Who do you want to believe? Some nice people on TikTok giving you opinions, or do you want to believe medical science? I'd love for anybody to give me a yes or a no on that, right? So whether it's Jay Collin or Brookie Ante or any of you, J Lo, El Amisa, you're in Canada, I can see that. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me ask you all a question. Nobody can give me anybody, unless you want to. Jay Calling, are you aware of anybody on TikTok with any medical? Just give me a yes or no. Because all of you are doing the same thing. Your only option until this podcast today was to go with people that were giving you opinions with no medical proof behind it. This is backed and published in 10 of the biggest medical journals for weight loss and health in the entire world. The studies took more than 10, 12, 14 years to prove that this was real. This is an earthquake in health, an earthquake in a good way. When you say we will purchase 30% of go serve. Jay Calling, again, you missed what I said. 70% of the food that you would consume comes from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. The coaches will put you in contact with the researchers. They've had these foods for over 20 years, but they never had used them in conjunction with actually, in this case, weight loss or health. They knew these foods had lots of nutrition in it, and that was it. The researchers who found the foods have nothing to do with the researchers who created this, other than the fact that the researchers who created this use those foods along with what's in your grocery store. The coaches will go over all that with you, Jay Calling. That's why you need a coach. That's why it's not just simple, oh, here's some recipes. No, it's more complicated than that. And Jay Calling, you probably missed it. You also get It's called the Blueprint for Success. And I don't know if you can read it or not, but each one of these yellows are daily videos. And you'll see right on here, hopefully you can read it, the schedule and then recommended food list. So they're going to give, the coaches are going to give you that. You just, the recommended food list, you take it to your grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But Jay Calling, instead of calorie amounts, it's serving sizes. Very, very important. And those foods were selected by that's what she took. You're doing exactly what they did. When I'm talking about the medical studies, you're doing step for step, inch by inch, food by food, whatever they ate, that's what you're going to do. You're not an experiment. Does that make sense, Jay Calling? Don't worry. Go to the website, look at the medical proof. If you like what you see, scroll down, you get a free coach because we will not contact you, Jay Calling. If you go there, we did it on purpose. Why would we need to intimidate you or try to convince you when there's the irrefutable medical proof, including the medical journals? They're on the site for everybody to see. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's not. It's better than that. Good, Jay Calling. And again, can you tell me, Jay Calling, are you aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence until today, until just now? Other than the drug companies have their medical studies on the shots, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment and do a comparison for you. Oh, Jay Calling. Okay, great, great, great. So are there any other, look, you have me live, Jay Calling. I'm an open book. Ask me whatever, do you want any of the questions or you just want to wait to talk to the coach? All I can tell you is, Jay Calling, did I do a personal analysis for you if you told me whether you were, I think you're female, how tall you are and your current weight? Did I give you a run through about how fast you can lose weight on this? If I did, great. If I didn't, I'm happy to do it for you right now. You tell me. Good, 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 good. Yeah, El, I'm tired of weight loss pills in the gym. They don't work. Would you agree with me? And Misa, I think you already commented. You're not aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence, are you? Aren't you ready for a major change to really turn your life around? Here it is, the New Health Conversation. Right there. Hold on. It's right below your name. That's the website you can go to. So who else would like to, anybody else? You can either ask me a question like, okay, how did she do it? It's a different woman. It's not, it's the daughter of a friend of mine. So let's get that out of the way. But who would like to know for themselves personally, if you'll tell me how tall you are and your current weight, man, I need to just know if you're male or female and how tall and your current weight, and I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight on this. You're not an experiment. We've worked with Jay Calling and everybody, we've worked with 800,000 people in 23 years, 800,000. So we got a pretty good darn idea about if they were male or female, what their starting weight was, and then how fast they lost the weight. And all the numbers that I would give you are based on absolute minimums. In other words, I'm giving you the low averages, not the high averages, right? Like Hirsch, that's average. 5 pounds a week is about average. So not extraordinary would be Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. Do you realize on a diet how long it would take you to lose 35 pounds, all of you? At least 6 or 7 months. She lost it in 35 days. And I'll contrast her with the shots here in just a moment. But first, I want to make sure that nobody else has any other questions before. Well, let's do this. And again, let me clarify something. We're not against the shots, so don't go running and telling that we were saying we're against the shots. We're not. But we're researchers. We're going to show you the research. So the idea is that the shots, if you're diabetic, you need the shot. And if you're morbidly obese, it may help you lose weight. But let's look at the tail of the tape. What's the actual numbers? So here's the New England Journal of Medicine. It's on our website. You can see the medical study from the New England Journal of Medicine. Semaglutide. This was 68 weeks, not 6 or 8 weeks, 68. That's 1 year and 4 months. The weight loss after 68 weeks was 32 pounds. And of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. Did you hear what I just said? That's why people coming off the shots are gaining, they're gaining like a half a pound a day. There's nobody coming off the shot that isn't gaining like all their weight back in no time whatsoever, okay? Well, Julie here, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days. So you do the math. She lost 3 pounds more in 37 days than they lost in 68 weeks, and she gained 9% lean muscle with no exercise. And you can look at her body about how much she shrank because of the detox. That's with no sit-ups, no crunches. She didn't set foot in a gym. She wore a Fitbit, proof she didn't exercise. Now, you certainly can exercise if you want to. Like Jay Colling, I told you that. You can exercise. But everyone, there's nothing. Now, let's take a look at a 65-year-old diabetic man. How about 40 pounds in a month, everybody? 40. And look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. But blood pressure, blood triglycerides, everything comes down on this dramatically. And they have all the medical proof to back it up. And you can see it on the website. It's all published. There's nothing to hide. You got to understand, when you're talking about peer-reviewed human trial studies, we can't edit them. We don't change them. We don't have to, exaggerate the results. They're there for all of you to see. Stop dieting. It doesn't work. Don't you get that? Just like somebody was Amicia was sick of diet pills and diets. They don't work. Do you agree? Susan Okers, okay. 411 136. Hello, Susan. How are you this morning? Excuse me, 411. You want to be about 100 pounds, Susan, 36 pounds. Get ready. First 4 days, Susan, you're going to lose at least 5 pounds. The first month, you'll probably lose 15 pounds, 121 after 1 month, about 106 after 2 months. I'm going to say 3 months or less, Susan, you're going to be 100 pounds. 3 months or less. Tell me how excited you are about that. And Susan, no one was allowed to exercise in this. You can exercise if you want to. They actually, including him, wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. But everybody, look at his stomach on day 1. Look at his stomach on day 30 with no exercise. That's the detox. That, if I get anything across to you, this is not a diet. The weight loss is kind of a benefit of it. But the real reason to do it is to detoxify your body. Do you all understand we're all toxic? We're drinking, we're breathing, eating chemicals as they enter the body's taking the chemical and stuffing it inside our visceral fat. That's the fat around the organs, and those fat cells expand. That's the bloating. His stomach is based on him storing chemicals inside of his fat cells. Look at that. How else do you explain day 30 with no exercise? Otherwise he'd have hanging skin. How come he doesn't have hanging skin? And then this lady here, this one a great story. 200 pounds in 11 months. Look at that. Is that amazing? But even this, when they tell me, oh, it's a different woman, she's taller. Well, it's a different room, number one. But it's the daughter of a friend of mine. You lose 60 pounds in 90 days, you're going to look a heck of a lot different as well. I understand you're all having a hard time wrapping your heads around this because you're so used to calories in, calories out, keto, paleo, Mediterranean. None of them work. Go to Barnes & Noble. There's 300 diet titles at least. If any of those diets worked, why would we need 300 different diets? When are we going to wake up and just go, you know what, this is not working? Johns Hopkins Medical School has given us a preview saying, Johns Hopkins Medical School predicts obesity apocalypse in 4 years. 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese in 4 years. So, well, that's 86% of you. Would you be on this podcast right now if you'd found a diet where you lost weight and kept it off, any of you? Be honest with me. Good, I'm ready. And you understand where to go. Susan, you didn't comment on those numbers. Are you excited or not? Because what diet would you go on that could even approach what I just shared with you? None. And Susan, are you aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence? With one shred of medical evidence. So there's the website you all can go to, including you, Susan. And if you go there, we will not contact you on my kids' lives or my grandkids' lives. The only thing on that website is the medical proof. And if you scroll down, you get a free coach and a free consultation. How much is the coaching? 0. How much is the consultation? 0. What do you buy from us? Nothing. What are you buying? 30%. Whatever you spent last month on food total, you're only going to spend 30% this month for proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables based on serving sizes, not calorie counting. Got it? The other 70% of your money goes to these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. And the coaches will show you how to get those foods from them. Not from us. You buy nothing from us. And then we'll coach you for free. We all got coached for free. The New Health Conversation is a movement. It's not a company. We don't have anything to sell you. But the New Health Conversation is set up so that other people are helping other people. It's a movement. It's not a company. It's a movement. And in this day and age, don't you think we could use some commonality with man helping man? I mean, I know it sounds really altruistic, but I've been doing it for 23 years. We've helped 800,000 people, and we'd love to be able to help you. Who has some questions for me? So again, Susan, are you excited about those numbers? Who else would like to ask me a question? Or if you'll tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight on this. If you want to find out. Let's see, who else would like to know here? Me, Jocelyn. Okay. Okay, Jocelyn. So for you, Jocelyn, if you'll tell me how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight on this. And Jocelyn, even before I do that, do you believe we're living in a toxic world? And do you believe you're toxic? Because if you don't, then I'm going to waste your time. Because this is a detox. It is not a diet, but you're going to lose as much weight you watch in 4 days or 6 weeks of any diet you've ever been on in your life. So Jocelyn, again, how tall are you and what your current weight is, and I'll show you how fast you can lose weight on this. Mona, I'm 58, I'm 168, but Mona, I need to know how tall you are. Jocelyn, 5'5", 40 years old, I'm 160, just lost 8 pounds. Help me lose more. Jocelyn, how long did it take you to lose 8 pounds? Mona, okay, Mona, I promise I'll do you right after Jocelyn, but Jocelyn, please tell me, how long did it take you to lose 8 pounds? Yes, 6 weeks. Okay, Jocelyn, get ready. Jocelyn, first of all, at 5'5", you should weigh about 120. That's 40 pounds. Get ready, Jocelyn. The first 4 days, you're going to lose 6 or 8 pounds. Jocelyn, the first month, minimum 20 pounds. After 1 month, 140. After 2 months, you're going to be at your goal, Jocelyn, within 2 months. Tell me what you think about that. I'm not kidding you. Well, look, do the math. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. So 5 pounds a week. Do the math. You're going to lose at least 5 pounds a week. Tell me how excited you'd be about those numbers, Jocelyn, if you can even believe it. Just give me some. Yeah, I know. All right, Mona, you're 5'2". Mona is 168. 5'2". Mona, you want to be about 110. That's 58 pounds. Mona, you're going to lose about 6 or 8 pounds in the first 4 days. The first month, Mona, minimum 20. You should be 148 after 1 month, 128 after 2 months, 108 after 3 months. So a little bit over 3 months, you're going to be, well, no, at 3 months, you'll be about 110. So tell me, Mona, how excited would you be about that? In less than 3 months, you're going to be 110. Tell me how excited you'd be about that. Who else wants to do this? So Jocelyn, are you excited? Yeah, Vicky. All right, Vicky, you're 5'10". Wow, you're tall, 245. All right, Vicky, I'd say for you, a terrific weight would be around 150, 160. Let's go with 150. That's easy. That's 95 pounds for me. It may be more than that, but okay. So Vicky, first of all, in the first 4 days, you're going to probably lose 8 or 10 pounds. The first month, you'll probably lose 25 pounds. So 220 after 1 month. It may slow down a little bit. The second month, probably 20 pounds. You'll be right at 200. The third month, 180. The fourth month, 160. So basically, I'd say in about 9 to 10 weeks max, Vicky, you'll be 150. Tell me how excited you are about those numbers. We see it all the time. Liz, 5'7", 250. Please help. Lizzie, you're helping yourself by being open to getting coached here. Okay, 5'7", 140, great weight for you, 110 pounds. Get ready, Lizzie. First 4 days, you're 250. You're gonna lose 8 or 10 pounds in 4 days. That's typical in this. The first month, you could lose as much as 30 pounds. Let's go with 25. 25 is going to get you after 1 month. You should be 225. After 2 months, right at 200. It'll slow down a little bit. The third month, 180. The fourth month, 160. So about 10 weeks, Lizzie, there's no reason at all you won't be 140. Tell me how excited you'd be about that, Lizzie. Okay? Jocelyn, I'm jumping up and down. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Good. So, Jocelyn, how excited are you about those numbers? Or Lizzie, sorry, it was Lizzie. Okay, Veronica, I'm 5 feet, 150. Okay, Veronica, if you're 5 feet, 100 pounds would be great for you. Okay, let me, hold on. Here's all of you. Here's the free website to go to. And understand, listen to me carefully. If you go to the website, we will not contact you. On purpose, we did it because we want you to be able to see the medical proof first. Then if you like what you see, you can scroll down, you get a free coach and a free consultation. They'll give you the grocery list of the foods you're going to buy from the grocery store, 30% of what you spent last month. So everybody, listen, cost-wise, take a month's worth of food, take 30% of those dollars. That's going to go to your grocery store to buy proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables with a list that our coaches will give you that were developed by, that's what she did. We're doing exactly what she did, all right? The other 70% of the food doesn't come from any grocery store anywhere. It literally comes from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and our coaches show you how to get those from these other researchers, not from our coaches. And those foods, that's the basis of what you're going to eat. And then there's a new way of eating. I'll explain it all to you in a moment. But let me finish up here with who was I working on? Veronica. Okay, so Veronica, you're 5 feet 150. Veronica, I'll tell you right now, maximum 2.5 months, you should be at about 105 pounds. Veronica, how excited would you be? And you're not going on a diet. Nobody exercised, although you can exercise if you want to, all right? And how do we start? You all go to the website. Again, you can see it right there at the bottom. I typed it in again, The New Health Conversation. Aren't you all ready for a different life? Aren't you sick and tired of these damn diets that you're starving, you get all excited about a pound a week? You're going to average on this close to 5 pounds a week. Those are the averages. And then you've got people like Julie that break the records. How about that, everyone? 35 pounds in 37 days. She didn't have that much weight to lose, but look at how much her body changed. Look at how much she shrank. That's with no exercise. They wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. How great is that, everybody? Right? We had a guy last night, he came on. He was 405 pounds. In 4 days, he lost 15 pounds. Now, granted, he weighed 400 pounds, but 4 days. I mean, that he's out of his mind. He can't believe it. Veronica, thumbs up. Great, Veronica. And Veronica, are you clear? If you go to the New Health Conversation, there's nothing there to buy. It's all for all of you. Also, can I get some more love here? I'm at 1,200 likes. If you like the content, tap. This podcast is going to change your life. And then if we look at, like I said, here's a 65-year-old man, 40 pounds in a month. But again, I want you to look at the medical. His A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4 in 1 month. That's a 25% drop. Any health professionals who see that, they can't even believe it. What's sad is a lot of health professionals come on here and they don't even stick around if they already make a judgment without any proof. And yet we have 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies, and they're recommending things to people without one shred of medical evidence behind it. Sorry, they just are. Again, let me ask you something, Veronica, or Mona, or Lizzie. Just please put in the chat a yes or no. Are you aware of anybody, any of you, with any medical proof on social media? Other than today, the drug companies have medical studies, and now we have medical studies. But other than that, are you aware of anybody you've followed or seen with one shred of medical evidence? My question to you is, your only option has been to follow opinions. That's all they can give you. If they don't have peer-reviewed studies, it's an opinion. It doesn't matter in the medical world. That's total nonsense. Oh, we got a new person here, Cherie, 56204. Okay, Cherie, 5'6", 130 would be a great weight for you. So that's going to be 130, 74 pounds, okay? Cherie, first 4 days, 204. You're going to lose 8 to 10 pounds in 4 days. The first month, you're going to lose a minimum, probably 25 pounds. You should be about 199 after 1 month. It'll slow down a little bit the second month. At the end of 2 months, I'm going to say you're going to be like so let's see, you're going to be 179. Yeah, 179, 159 after 2 months, 139 after 3 months. So basically in 3.5, maximum 4 months, Cherie, you should be right at about 130. Tell me how excited you'd be about those numbers. Would that blow your mind? Veronica, I'm going to take a look. And Mona's saying, no, there's nobody on social media. What about you, Veronica? Are you aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence? Remember, they have to have a peer-reviewed human trial medical study. It can't be a clinical study. It can't be on mice or rats or in a lab or in a petri dish. It's got to be on human beings. Are you aware of anybody? No, you already told me no, Veronica. So, Veronica, are you a little bit intrigued? Because, Veronica, is it safe to say, with all due respect, that up to this point, your choices were to follow people on social media with just opinions? Would you say that's true, Veronica? I mean, I don't know how it could be different, because you already told me you haven't seen anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence. Right. Now, Veronica, so I'm going to ask you a silly question, but I want you to answer me if you will, okay? Don't get mad at me. It's easy. So, Veronica, a one, don't do it yet, but put in the chat, a 1 would mean, even after today, you're going to follow people that give you opinions. Or a 2, you only want to now go with medical proof. Give me a 1 or a 2, Veronica. Which one would you choose? Are you going to go back to keto or paleo or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating with no medical proof? Or do you want to go with 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies that could change your life, and you're going to be able to maintain it? You got to understand, they've all maintained this weight loss for 9 or 10 years. I lost 40 pounds, Veronica, in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's what you should be excited about. Oh, everybody's giving me a 2. I love it. I love it. Am I making sense to everybody? Please. And Cherise, I gave you those numbers. Aren't you going to react? Give me a thumbs up or something, Cherie. I hope you're very excited about the prospects for you. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Go and follow these influencers without a shred of medical evidence? And you know also, Cherise, what have you lost on diet? You all get excited about a pound a week. Am I correct? Veronica or anybody, support me. On diets, what's your anticipation? Isn't it about a pound a week? Am I right or am I wrong? Again, everybody, help me out. I haven't been on a diet in 23 years, so I don't know what your expectations are. I know what the medical proof is. The medical proof is if you lose more than a pound a week on a diet, they tell you, oh my God, that's unhealthy because you're losing lean muscle mass on every single diet. On this, you're gaining 6 to 9%. Well, Veronica, on a diet, it would never even happen. But Veronica, what you have to understand, you'll go and see, they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. That's unheard of with no exercise. That's why it's safe. But again, Veronica, you don't get published in these huge journals if it's not safe. There's the game changer. Oh, and Veronica, by the way, the newest studies, the faster you can lose weight, as long as you don't lose lean muscle, guess what, Veronica? 95% of the people keep the weight off for the rest of their lives. No, you want to lose as fast as you can. But because I would ask you this question, Monica, if you believe, Veronica, sorry, if you believe we're living in a toxic world, which I think you told me you do, why would you want to carry 1 gram of a toxin, Veronica, for 1 extra second? Get the damn stuff out of our body as fast as you can. Am I making sense or not? That's why it's not too fast. You want it to be as fast as possible, as long as you don't lose lean muscle. And they didn't. I mean, look at this guy here. Look at his medical numbers, his triglycerides and LDL in half in 30 days. And my God, his blood pressure, 134 over 91, dropped to 102 over 61, and he lost 45 pounds in a month. Does he not look healthier than he did on day 1? How long did you want to have him lose? 45 pounds on a diet would take him damn near a year. Look at how healthy he is. I understand for all of you who are struggling, you're trying to wrap your heads around this. Don't. Just go look at the medical proof. On our website, we won't even contact you, Veronica, if you go there. You get to choose. We're not in control of your decisions. You are. But there's the medical proof. Here's the evidence. You decide what you want to do with it. It's not up to us to convince you. We're not here to convince you. We're here to assist you, help you, answer all your questions, and support you and show you how you can change your life. Otherwise, Veronica, what are you going to do? Go on paleo or keto or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating? None of them work. None of them work. So, who else would like to ask me a question? So again, any of the new people that are on here, if you'd like to tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight. Last night I did one of these, everyone, and we had so many people I couldn't even. It was scrolling so fast I couldn't even do all the analysis. People are desperate for a solution, but we have nothing to sell you. We have something to tell you. That's a lot different than something to sell you. And what we're telling you and what you get, you can see the medical studies. They're on the website. You can't edit a peer-reviewed human trial study. The results are the results. You all know that none of you would be on this right now if you'd found a diet where you lost weight and kept it off. Do I seem unreasonable to all of you? Maybe, I get a little bit excited. I get a little bit fired up. But listen, we've got people even like Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. I'm reading from the study. The idea of a calorie in and a calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's exactly what these researchers did, and they have nothing to do with Harvard Medical School. When are we going to wake up and say, I don't think what we're doing is working? We're projected in 4 years, Johns Hopkins Medical School, I have the study right here. In 4 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese in 4 years. You may not think that's going to happen to you. I hope it doesn't. But what's the likelihood you're going to be part of the 14% who aren't overweight or obese? In the whole country? In the whole country, 86% are going to be overweight or obese? and about 50% will be pre-diabetic or diabetic. Hell, we got 50% of our kids now approaching being overweight or obesity. Obesity in kids now is around 20, 25%. This is a tragedy. And what do we keep doing? The same thing. We change the name on the diet. At the end of the day, here's why your diets can't possibly work. When you go on a diet, all you're doing is you're reducing the amount of food you're consuming. In so doing, they never tell you that as you reduce the amount of food, you're reducing the amount of nutrition. You reduce the amount of nutrition, the brain thinks you're starving to death because it uses nutrition to run your organs, not calories. Your brain has no idea what a calorie is. It's never calculated a calorie. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. It's useless. It's a man-made measurement in a laboratory. The body calculates how much nutrition it has to run the organs. When it calculates there's not enough nutrition, it goes and seeks nutrition because otherwise you won't be alive, and it turns to your muscles for fuel. Every time, everyone. So up to 25 to 40% of what you've been losing on any diet is not fat. That's a total lie. There's no such thing as burning fat on a diet or at the gym. That just isn't true. You have the same number of fat cells by number at puberty you have when you die. And your fat cells can expand or contract. And fortunately, the bloating you think you're experiencing is because your body is storing chemicals inside your fat cells and showing you and telling you you're toxic. It's that simple. Look at the pictures from people on the beaches in 1970. And look at the pictures from last summer. It's a tragedy. It's so sad. And it's not that those people don't want to control their weight. They don't know how. So they keep going on these stupid diets that don't work. And then you're following all these people on TikTok without a shred of medical evidence. They got big credentials, a lot of titles after their names. Mr. Hello, I'm saying hi. Hi, Mr. I'm saying hi. I'm Mr. So again, who else would like to know? Right here, here's how you get started. You go to the website, Health Conversation. I know most of you won't even go there. I don't know why I even do this, because I mean it's you know. But the sad part is, okay, say you don't go there and at least explore where's the medical proof. What are you going to do? Do you really think in 3 months you're going to weigh less than you do now? Really? It's just such a tragedy. We've been so inundated with nonsense. We've been so inundated with false statements and with no medical proof, none, zero. Do you know right now the researchers feel the greatest threat in the history of mankind is not viruses or COVID, it's obesity. Harvard Medical School, obese contributes to over 40 known diseases. And none of it's your fault, none of it. Our food is almost nutritionally bankrupt, so we keep eating because the body's saying, I'm hungry. But it's hungry for more nutrition. It's not hungry for more food. That's what they proved when they went to these remote areas where no one was overweight. People ate way less food because the food had nutrition. Your body, once it's satisfied nutritionally, it turns off your hunger. You have two hormones in your body that determine what, you all know this? What makes you hungry is a hormone called ghrelin. What turns off hunger is a hormone called leptin. It's that simple. Neither one of those count calories. Neither one care about calories. It's just nonsense. It's just crazy nonsense. When you're a researcher like me, I look at it and go, why aren't they telling people this? Miss Facts. Well, mister, you came on. This is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world for weight loss and health. Okay, 10. Again, mister, put in the chat, are you aware of anybody on social media that you've seen with peer-reviewed human trial studies, let alone 10 of them published? Please put it in the chat for me, a yes or no. Are you aware of anybody with any medical proof when it comes to weight loss and health? Because we can't find anybody. And no one's been able to come up with it in all this time. So again, who else would like to know? If you'll tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you you're going to lose as much weight on this in 4 days as 6 weeks of any diet. But you're going to be able to maintain it. The thing I want you to all understand, you're going to be able to maintain it. And look at this guy here. How about 34 pounds in 29 days? Look at how much he shrank. That's with no exercise. You think there's any diet like this? How many of you, to lose 34 pounds, how long would you give yourself to lose 34 pounds? I don't think 29 days. And I mean, when we look at person after person, Now he's the record holder so far. The next picture I'm going to show you, he's close to 400 pounds when he started. 60 pounds in a month, everybody. That's 2 pounds per day. Look at that. Do you think any diets ever produced anything like that? You think his life is different? And they've all kept it off for 9 years, longer than 9 years. And so I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So again, I'm still, yes or no. Are you aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence? Please give me a yes or a no. Liz Savvy, cook of the New York City. Wonderful. Hi, Lizzie. How are you? AJ Yizzy, follow the live creator. Wow, you're on there a couple times. So again, who would like to know how much weight they can lose? And again, I was telling Veronica, all the medical studies now say the faster you can lose weight, if you don't lose lean muscle mass, there's a 95% chance you're going to keep the weight off for the rest of your life. I like those odds. What about all of you? You're not doing that on diets. You all know you've yo-yoed. Would anybody be on this podcast? Oh, you're okay, good. So I'm assuming you're in New York City with that title. That sounds like it would be. So Lizzie, let me ask you a question. Are you aware of anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence, what's called a peer-reviewed human trial study? Can you just give me a yes or no? I'm always doing a survey as I do these podcasts, because what we're talking about, Lizzie, is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world for health and weight loss. And other than the pharmaceutical companies, we can't find anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence behind any of these diets. And I'm talking about MDs and chiropractors and dietitians and nutritionists and fitness trainers and health coaches. Can't find one with one shred of medical evidence. The only thing they're giving the public is anecdotes, is opinions with no medical facts. Now these studies took over 15 years, but now they're in the general, now they're out there, and there's no way on earth that anybody, if they looked at these medical journals, would ever do a traditional diet again. And Liz, we offer no, exactly. Look, and we offer a free medical website that if you were to go there, we won't contact you. We don't need to, because it's the medical proof, including the medical journals that you can see for yourself. Now, you don't have to do this, Lizzie, if you're interested. If you would tell me how tall you are and your current weight, I'll blow your mind. You're going to lose as much weight on this in 4 days as 6 weeks of any diet, and it's not a diet. And there's no products to buy, Lizzie. It's based on food and a new way of eating, and it was invented by the top weight loss researchers in the world, who are the ones that look, it's one thing to get published in one medical journal, because each journal has a set of scientists who are there to scrutinize the research. But to get published in 10 of them, unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. This is going to change the world, and it's changing so many people. Oh, absolutely. Boar Bear, absolutely. Yes, yes. Okay. And how tall are you, Lizzie? How tall are you? Because I'm going to blow your mind at how fast you're going to lose weight on this. But I need to know your height so I can be accurate for you. And I'm going to give you, okay, oh, you're tall. Okay, 5'6". All right, a great weight for you, Lizzie, is going to be about 130. That's our goal. That's 90 pounds. Lizzie, get ready. The first 4 days, 6 to 8 pounds. The first month, Lizzie, minimum 20 pounds. So after 1 month, you should be 200. After 2 months, 180. After 3 months, 160. After 4 months, 140. 5 months in, you're going to be, less than 5 months, you're going to be, well, like 130. 125. Lizzie, how excited would you be about those numbers? Can you imagine getting on the scale after 4 days and you're down like 8 pounds? How much will that motivate you to continue? We see it. Well, look at her. Do the math. She lost 60 pounds in 9 months. That's 5 pounds a week. So I'm pretty much basing, but it's not just her. So the New Health Conversation is a movement, Lizzie. There's no products to buy. We don't have any products to buy. This is based on food and a new way of eating, which I'll explain to you in just a moment. Oh, come on, Lizzie. That's 3 months in, you're going to be 150. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. But at 5'6", I'm telling you, ideal would be around 130, 135 max. So but that's why I'm telling you. But you've got to understand, once you start to hit these milestones, you'll realize that number is definitely achievable, and maintaining it. She's kept the weight off for 9 years. That's the daughter of a friend of mine, by the way. But if you look at any of these people, look at this, Lizzie. Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. And look at her body, how much it changed. And notice she has no loose skin. Well, Lizzie, let me explain it to you. What do I have to offer you? Nothing except research. No. Basically, this was invented not by me or by us. It was invented by the top weight loss researchers in the world who were paid for 40 years to analyze diets, never found a diet that worked. And they said there'd have to be people somewhere in the world who aren't overweight. And they found other researchers who'd gone to areas in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and found lots of people, nobody was overweight. And the secret was pretty simple. The foods those people had in those regions had extraordinary amounts of nutrition, to the point where those 5 regions' food together would represent about 300 different nutrients. And unless someone's on a prescription for low iron or calcium, they don't need any supplements at all. Then they invented a new way of eating. So 30% of the food you actually would buy, you buy nothing from us. We have no products. We don't have a company. We're researchers. The New Health Conversation is a movement. It's not a company. So you'd get a grocery list, you'd take to your grocery store, and only 30% of whatever you bought last month, you'd buy from your grocery store, not from us. And on the list are proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables based on serving sizes, not calories. The other 70% of the money you have left goes to these other researchers who have these foods and have had them from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. But these new researchers are the one that put together this new eating pattern using those foods called protein pacing. It's actually a registered trademark with the US Patent Office. And also then it got published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So here's what you do. 5 days a week until you lose your weight. You're going to have 4 meals a day. You're going to start with the world's most perfect foods for breakfast, lunch and dinner from the grocery, and a 4th meal after dinner of the world's most perfect foods. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store. And now it's a detox. So let me pause right there. Lizzie, do you believe we're living in a toxic world? And do you believe you're toxic? Because if you don't, you're on the wrong podcast. Because what we know medically, as a matter of fact, there's a new medical syndrome, Lizzie, called the TDOS syndrome, which I have, you have, every person in the world. The T stands for toxic chemicals driven by the lack of nutrition and our food, deficiency of food, overweight, and stress. It's a registered trademark of a new medical syndrome, U.S. Patent Office, discovered by this researcher by the name of Peter Greenlaw. Coincidentally, that's me, Lizzie. So I discovered a medical syndrome that everybody in the world has that's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. The main reason to do this is to assist your own body in detoxification. So let's talk about the detox. Remember, 5 days a week, you're having 4 meals a day, including 2 meals a day from your grocery store. On this process, on the 2 days a week until you lose your weight, you have no food from the grocery store. You only consume the foods that come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. And those foods you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to have really small amounts of food with huge amounts of nutrition, and you're going to detox. Now, how do they know it was a detox? Because they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved without a shadow of a doubt this was helping your body get rid of toxins. And that's why she shrank so much. And that's where the weight loss occurs. So understand, Lizzie, you're not doing this to lose weight. The weight loss is like a bonus, but that's not the main thing. Then whatever else they found, the diabetics on this, Lizzie, they cut their insulin by 50% in a month. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all plummeted. And here was the big one, inflammation, which you and me and everybody suffer from, came down 25% in a month. No one's ever seen anything like this before on any diet ever. This is the most comprehensive medical research that's ever been done, Lizzie, in history on weight loss and health. It's going to change the world. So everything I'm showing you is backed by peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. So it's safe and it's real. And that's why when I give you those numbers that you can achieve, you would never be able to achieve that on a diet. Well, your willpower would probably wane. That's what happens to most people. They get to a certain point and then the weight loss is 2 or 3 ounces a week and they say, the hell with this. Not on this. They're able to maintain it. Like I said, look right there. She's kept it off for 9 years. 9 years. Actually, I think it's a little bit longer than that. So I think it's like 10 years. But anyway, we'll go with 9 years. That's good enough. So Lizzie, does that make sense? And if you go to the website, we will not contact you. You get to see all the medical proof, including an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition researcher in the world. You watch that interview, you'll never do a traditional diet again, and you'll understand. And then you get a free coach. You get a free consultation. Well, first of all, you go to the website. We're not going to contact you. But if you like what you see, you scroll all the way down, you get a free coach and a free consultation. And those coaches are going to coach you the whole time. And also, Lizzie, you get, this is what she followed. It's called the Blueprint for Success. Each one of these yellows are the daily videos from the researchers explaining to you why it's safe and what's real. Now they have no company. They don't have any products. They're scientists, but they found they found the solution for obesity. It's not up for debate. They've got the medical proof to back it up. So I don't know why anyone would even think about going on a traditional diet if this is now an option. You have medical proof to say, wait a minute, this blows all diets away. And it's a detox. It's not a diet. The main reason to do this is not to lose the weight. It's to detoxify your body naturally. Your own body's doing it. There are no products. There's no lotions, potion, pills. No, it's based on food. So would anybody else like to know, Lizzie, everybody needs to detox, Lizzie. Everybody. So Lizzie, that's the reason that you'd want to go and watch the web. Again, Lizzie, I swear my kids, my grandkids, I got 2 sons and 4 grandkids that I love, on their lives. We're not going to contact you. If you go to that website, The New Health Conversation, it's for you to have the freedom to see the medical proof. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I don't want you to believe me. That's not my role in this. My role is to make you aware. Our role is to make you aware of what's possible. But what have you been doing, everyone? Again, I'd love for anybody to tell me, Lizzie was nice enough to do it. What in the world can anybody tell me, anybody on social media that any of you have seen with one shred of medical evidence? Who would it be? Who would it be, everybody? So anyway, Lizzie, are you clearer now on what's going on? So Lizzie, again, 30% of your food you're going to buy from your grocery store, 70% from these other people, and then we'll coach you for free. Sounds too good to be true. Oh, the other part I didn't even tell you, Lizzie, and everybody else. So 30% of your food you're going to buy from, take your total food budget, take 30%, that's all you're going to spend at the grocery store. The 70% you go towards these foods in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, because it'll say on the website when you go to get a free consultation, 100% money back guarantee. The 30% from your grocery store, unless you negotiate with them, they won't give you your money back if this doesn't work. But the other 70%, let's say this doesn't work for you, Lizzie, 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee, they'll even pay return shipping, the researchers. Because, nothing's 100%, of course, but damn it, this is probably 99%. So Lizzie, you tell me anything like that. So if you took a month's worth of food, 70% of what you're going to eat, because you're going to eat the food, if it doesn't work, they'll give you all your money back. That's not us. We have nothing to do with that. Because those researchers are the ones who supplied to these medical studies. So obviously everybody that's doing the protocol wants those foods. That makes sense. But again, I would say nothing. Habitually, please like, share, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to watch more enjoyable content. Says who? What a disgusting thing to say. Someone coming on trying to hijack my podcast. What a bunch of nonsense. Anyway, how much money do you think we need to spend in 5-6 months with these people? Well, what do you mean with these people? You're buying groceries. Most people feel, Lizzie, you're probably going to spend maybe $25 or $30 more per week than you were spending on your total food budget. Because keep in mind, Lizzie, you're only spending 30% at the grocery store. The other 70% of the money you did spend at the grocery store is going towards these exotic foods. Most people feel, like I said, maybe $25 or $30 more a week than what they spent. But Lizzie, look at the results. I mean, what do you think you're going to do to get down to even if you wanted to get down to 150, how long would it take you on a diet? How much food would you buy to get yourself to 150? Because you're going to get to your goal in, a tenth of the time it would take on any diet. Plus, keep in mind, you're getting 300 different nutrients. You don't need any supplements, Lizzie. That's all I can tell you. Because I don't know what your food, but I had a lady last week, she spends $50 a week on food. Well, that isn't going to work. And of course, she's starving herself from a nutritional standpoint. And maybe that's all she can afford. I don't know. I'm not here to judge anybody. We're here to say, look, these are the results, and here's how you get the results. And this is basically what you're buying. There are no products. There are no products, everybody. No pills, no lotions, potions, pills, nothing like that. Right? Does that make sense, Lizzie? It seems like your questions are good questions, by the way. That's what most people are asking, the same thing. It sounds too good to be true. So they're thinking, oh my God, this is like, what, $2,000 a month? Hell no. No. It's very, very affordable. Because remember, you're buying from your grocery store and you're buying from the researchers who found these foods. That's it. But those foods from those areas, you can't buy any grocery store anywhere in the world. and then you get the protocol, and then you get coached for free. So who else would like to know? Thanks, Lizzie. Who else would like to know if you'll tell me if you're male or female? And we got 2,200 likes. Come on, if you like the content, let's get some taps on your phone. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. I've been at this now for almost an hour and 20 minutes. And hopefully I'm educating all of you. Who else would like to know, basically, if you'll tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight. You're going to lose as much weight on this in 4 days as you would in 6 weeks of any diet. I can tell all of you that right now. And you can look at her numbers. This is the exception. She lost about 7 pounds a week. 7 pounds a week, that's a pound a day almost a pound a day on this. And there are people that lost more than a pound a day. If you look at Ken, 34 pounds in 29 days. Or if we look at Curtis, he lost 40 pounds in a month. And he's 65 years old, and he's a diabetic on insulin, and they had to cut his insulin by 50% a month because look at his A1C. It went from 8.4 to 6.4 in 30 days. If he would have camped the same amount of insulin, he'd go into a diabetic shock because his blood sugar would have dropped so much. This is great. This is unbelievable. So who else would like to, again, if you put it in the chat, tell me how tall you are and your current weight. I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight on this. How many of you would just be really happy with that? She lost 60 pounds in 90 days. Do the math. That's 5 pounds per week. You're all excited about a pound a week. Tell me, educate me. Am I right? Am I wrong? You mean to lose 60 pounds, it would have taken her 60 weeks. That's more than a year. She lost it in 3 months. You're all being mystified. You're being paralyzed by these nice people on TikTok without a shred of medical evidence. They have great communication skill. They'll show you maps. They'll show you pictures. They got no proof. I'll challenge any of you. Tell me, 5'7", 376, female. LED, get ready, 5'7". You want to be about 140 would be great for you. That's going to be 136 pounds. Get ready, LD. First 4 days, L. Ready? 10 to 12 pounds in the first 4 days. The first month, minimum 30 pounds. So 346 after 1 month. Again, another 30 probably the second month, 346, 316. The third month, 316, you're going to drop under 200. You should be about 290 after 3 months. And then it's going to be about 20 pounds a month. So 390 after 3 months, right? 290, sorry. So 270 after 4 months. 250 after 5 months, 230 after 6 months, 6 months. So I'm going to say roughly 8 months you should be at your goal weight. Oh no, I wanted you to lose what, 130? Yeah, no. I'd say 7 months max you're going to be at your goal weight, which like I said should be about 140. So 136 pounds. Yeah, easily in like 5 months. So L, give me some comments. How excited? Well, how about the first 4 days if you're down 10 to 15 pounds? Tell me how much excited you'd be about that. And at least 30 pounds in the first month. Bones, how? And please answer. Bones, I didn't see your question, Bones. Let me go back up. Did I miss you? I apologize if I did. Let's see. Bones, Bones, I don't see any questions from you. Okay, Bones, if you'll tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, then I'll tell you. The weight, 19, Bones, 19 SS. I don't know what that means. You must have, it's a typo. Again, are you male or female? How tall are you and your current weight? And I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight. But L, tell me, how excited are you about those numbers? Tell me. Are you not excited about those numbers? Do you really want to change? Boom, here it is. Yes, I would love that. Great. And Al, here's where you can go. It's a free website. You can Photoshop this if you want. It's called The New Health Conversation. And on that website, Al, there's nothing there to buy. The only thing there is the medical proof. But if you like what you see, scroll all the way down. You get a free consultation and a free coach. How much is the coaching? $0. How much is the consultation? $0. What do you buy from us, Al? Nothing. You're going to buy food. There are no products, pills, lotions, no. It's based on food and a new way of eating developed by the top weight loss researchers in the entire world. So again, Bones, I need more data, Bones. I need to know male or female, how tall, and your current weight. And I'll tell you how fast you can do this. It's a detox. Okay, so If you're asking me how, everybody, let me go through it real quickly. It was invented by the top weight loss researchers in the world who had been paid for 40 years to try and find a diet that worked. They never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. 2/3 of every person on every diet gained more weight than they lost, because 25 to 40% of what you lose on any diet is your lean muscle mass. You lose no fat. Anybody telling you you burn fat on a diet or you burn fat at the gym, it's a total lie. You have the same number of fat cells at puberty you have when you die, give or take a few fat cells. And all your fat cells do over your lifetime, they expand or contract. And sadly, they're expanding because we're living in a toxic world now. We're drinking, breathing, eating chemicals, better living through chemistry. Well, some of those chemicals and poisons are ending up inside our body, and the body, to protect you, is taking the chemicals, stuffing it in your fat cells. That's why you're bloated, not because you added fat to your body or body image. Has nothing to do with any of that nonsense. It only has to do with the medical facts. You're storing chemicals in your body. This is a detox. It is not a diet. So the researchers, what they said, there have to be people somewhere in the world who aren't overweight. They found other researchers who had found people in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that no one was overweight. And their secret was so simple. The foods in those regions with no herbicides, no pesticides, had large amounts of nutrition, and therefore people ate less food. Because, see, your hunger has never been generated or caused by lack of calories. That's nonsense. The only thing that can ever make you hungry is lack of nutrition. So the researchers, knowing that, put together a food list that you would take to your grocery store. Now watch this. Only 30% of whatever you bought last month at the grocery store, on this protocol, until you lose your weight, you're only going to spend 30% on proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, and you're going to get serving sizes, not the amount of calories. The other 70% of the food you're going to buy comes from these other researchers, and the foods come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, representing these huge amounts of nutrition in small amounts of food. Then there's a brand new way of eating that you're going to lose bones and everybody else. 5 days a week, you're going to have 4 meals a day. You're going to start with the world's most perfect foods for breakfast. Lunch and dinner come from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from the world's most perfect foods. Yeah, I didn't overspeak. It's 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, here comes the detox. No food from the grocery store at all. Only these exotic, the world's most perfect foods. And this time, she ate 8 times a day. Now, here's the detox. How does it work? It works the same as every night when you go to sleep. As long as you don't eat too late, your body slows down digestion, which it has to do, turns on a natural detox mechanism called autophagy. When your body gets rid of the dead cells, it happens every night. You don't have to do anything. That's what happens, okay? Well, on this process here, the reason they gave her 8 meals a day and no food from the grocery store, she was ingesting these foods so they could give her really small amounts of food involving very little digestion, turning on that mechanism, but still a lot of nutrition to fuel the process. And how do they know it's a detox? Because they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved without a shadow of a doubt this was removing chemicals from her body. That's why she shrank so much, and that's why a lot of people say, oh, it's a different woman. It's actually the daughter of a friend of mine. We're scientists. We don't have to screw around. We don't have anything to sell you, so there's no advantage to us trying to trick you. We don't need to do that. And then maintenance. Well, the other thing that came down on this was blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides. But here was the big one, inflammation, which plagues me and you and every person, came down 25% in a month. No diet has ever touched anything like this. And then maintenance is simple. This morning, before I came in the studio, I had the world's most perfect foods for breakfast. I'm going to have a lunch and dinner, and every 2 months I do another 48-hour detox. Why? Because the toxins are not going on vacation. So if you don't think you're toxic, you're on the wrong podcast. Go follow the influencers on TikTok without one shred of medical evidence. You see, these medical studies are on our website for you to see. They're in the public domain, but a peer-reviewed human trial medical study is what's called irrefutable evidence, because it's already gone through a very stringent validation. And to be in one journal is a really big deal, but to be in 10, it's unheard of. Now, these studies, some of them took over 15 years. It cost millions of dollars, lots of people, lots of patients in order to make this come to fruition. You're in a position where you could hit the do-over button for the rest of your life or not, or you can go and follow these people on TikTok without a shred of medical evidence. I'd love for any of the new people to put it in the chat for me. Are you aware, LD? I would love that, LD. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. But LD, are you aware of anybody on TikTok or on social media with one shred of medical evidence? L, please just give me a yes or no. But L, you got to understand you can have a totally different life but you're never going to get there on a traditional diet. Not because I say so, because all the research now says, even here's Medicare. Let me read this to you, Al. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments, diets are not the answer. We found that analyzing diets, long-term outcomes, 2/3 of everybody on every diet, Al, gained more weight than they lost. I don't think, I'm being respectful here, but I don't think you'd be on this podcast if you had found a diet where you had lost weight and kept it off. And I'm sure, like everybody else, you yo-yo. And now, what's the new diet? What's the new diet? None of them work. I tried diet, exercise, and you went to the sauna, you did whatever. God love you. But again, at the end of the day, did you ever end up losing weight and keeping it off? I don't think you would be on this call if you had on this Zoom. I'm sorry, it's not a Zoom, it's a podcast. But you know what I'm saying. So L, give me a yes or no. Are you aware of anybody on social media with any medical proof at all? And there, right there, the New Health Conversation for all of you. There's a long interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, and he'll tell you in the study they will never recommend, they'll never put anybody on a diet again. And they're the top weight loss researchers in the world. I'm going to kind of go with what they're saying. So I'm going to go about another 10 minutes max. So if anybody else would like to tell me, if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight on this. And again, for all of you coming on, this is not a diet. There are no lotions, potions, pills. There are no products. There are no products to buy. You're going to buy food from your grocery store, 30% of whatever you spent last month, and 70% from foods that aren't available in any grocery store anywhere in the world that come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, representing huge amounts of nutrition in small amounts of food. So who else would like to know for themselves, before I close this out in 10 minutes, who else would like to know how much weight they could lose? You're going to lose as much weight in 4 days as 6 weeks, typically, as any diet. And you look at even a 65-year-old man, everybody, that's 10 pounds a week. That's more than a pound a day, obviously. Look at him. Look at his stomach on day 1, look at his stomach on day 30. That's with no exercise. And look at his A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. That's in 30 days. 30 days. Have any of you ever seen anything like that on the planet? Yes, no, maybe? So again, would anybody else like, if you just, I don't know why you wouldn't want to know, unless you think this is BS or we're making things up. We can't make up. You have to all understand, when you get, not us, but the research is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. It's already been scrutinized by the top experts in the world. And with all due respect, not somebody on TikTok that might give me an opinion. Because unless you have medical proof behind what you're stating, it means nothing in the medical world. It's an observation that has no bearing in the medical world. Why do you think no drug ever gets approved without going through a peer-reviewed human trial medical study? And I know sometimes they get it wrong, but at least we have a safeguard. Is any diet you're on, can anybody show me a diet that's gone through the throes of a peer-reviewed human trial study? Or any of these influencers, and they're nice people, medical doctors and chiropractors and dietitians and PhDs and nutritionists and fitness trainers, they don't have a shred of medical evidence. Oh, have egg whites for breakfast and 2 chicken breasts. Really? Where's your medical proof that that has any value whatsoever in the long run? It's so sad. We're on the Titanic. That noise you hit, we hit an iceberg. So now what are you going to do? What's your solution? I'd love for anybody to tell me, how do you think you're going to lose weight, but more importantly, how are you going to detox your body? Because none of these diets, they don't remove a gram of toxin. This is a detox. The reason he shrank is his body was able to remove chemicals from the bloating you're seeing there. It has nothing to do with body image. That's his body warning him, you're toxic, you're toxic, you're toxic. Or in her case, 60 pounds in 90 days. Or Eric here, look, that's 1.5 pounds a day. Look at his medical work, triglycerides and LDL in half in 30 days. Is anybody, you trying to tell me you got anything like this on the planet? Right. L, you're right. So L, I'm in support of you, L. Just let me be clear. But L, just think about it. So up until either The only people with medical proof now, Al, are the pharmaceutical companies or us, okay? And I'm going to, before I close, I just want to do a quick comparison on the shots, but give me a second. So what I'm saying to you is that your only options were to go to social media and see these nice people giving you opinions, right? So I'm going to ask you a question, Al. Now it's a different scenario. Don't do it yet. Put in the chat if you're okay, based on being on this podcast, with going with opinions with no medical proof. That would be a 1 you'd put in the chat. A 2 would mean, no, I want to go with medical proof that's proven and published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. That's a 2. So L, give me a 1 or a 2. Which one? Or any of you can do it. Any of you, put in the chat. A 1 means you're okay with opinions. A 2 means you want medical proof because now it's available, which it wasn't before. So it's like it's not your fault. You didn't even know it existed. Everybody's giving me 2s. L, is this, and the other thing, Christy, thank you, Christy, for all of you. Just give me some yeses as what I'm sharing with you the first time you've ever heard anything like this, especially about detoxification or especially about these kind of results. Has anyone ever heard what I've been sharing with you today? Because my job as a researcher is to make you aware of what's available. Like, here's the evidence. We're not here to judge you. We're not here to make an opinion for you. You draw your own opinion. But if you all go to the website, and here's the website again, Al, I'm putting it under your name and Christy and Rallison right there at the bottom. So why would you be interested in going to the website? Well, let me tell you why. Because on the website, there's a podcast that I did an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team invented this. You watch, it's called 60 Minutes, it'll change your life. You're worth it. Invest 60 minutes. I promise, I would say it's nearly 100% if you watch that podcast, you're done dieting. You'll never do a traditional diet ever again. Now let's briefly talk about the shots in the last couple minutes I have left. First of all, I'm not against the shots. They're helping diabetics and they're helping people that are morbidly obese. I'm going to be neutral, all right? But what I want to do is I'm going to read from the New England Journal of Medicine. By the way, this study is on our website. You can see it. So if I'm talking about something, you can pretty much see it on our website because we don't have to make up things, all right? And I want to contrast that with Julie. Okay, I'm going to read from the medical study, the New England Journal of Medicine. By the way, this is 68 weeks. Not 6 or 8 weeks, 68 weeks. Got it? 1 year and 4 months. Here are the results. After 68 weeks, the weight loss was 32 pounds. And of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. We call this clinically relevant reduction in body weight. This is the New England Journal of Medicine telling you that 32 pounds in 68 weeks and 40% of that is lean muscle. That's as good as they think it gets. Julie loses 35 pounds in 37 days. She loses 3 pounds more than they lose in 68 weeks, and she gained 9% lean muscle mass. So again, I'm not against the shots, but now you have a choice. 68 weeks, 32 pounds. If you do the math, 40% of the 32 pounds, 13 pounds about, is lean muscle mass. You think that's healthy? Really? Do you? That's the problem. See, people coming off the shots, they've lost weight. They're gaining as much as a half a pound a day because they've slowed down their metabolism drastically. Your lean muscle determines your whole energy system. It also impacts, listen, by losing lean muscle, you know what else you slow down, not just your metabolism? How about your immune system? I can speak to this. Sadly, my younger brother in 2011 diagnosed with kidney cancer. My brother was 6'4". In the 8 months from the time he was diagnosed until he passed away, when my brother passed away, he weighed 115 pounds. I saw muscle wasting. A diet to a lesser degree. It's actually called catabolic metabolism. So what's happening on the shots, you're reducing the amount of food. It slows the food moving through your digestive tract. You're full longer. But you're getting less nutrition, for crying out loud. Doesn't this make sense? This is crazy what we're doing, crazy. And it's not just me saying this. Here's a huge study out of Australia. Let me read it to you quickly. The GLP-1 starvation epidemic, a medical disaster unfolding in plain sight. These so-called miracle weight loss options, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mojovi, and Triepside are being pushed as the ultimate fix for obesity. But behind the glossy ads and celebrity endorsement lies the truth. They are systematically starving millions of users from the inside out. This is full-blown nutritional catastrophe that doctors are only now waking up to. Here's the raw, unfiltered truth. Scurvy is back. And it's hitting modern patients. Australian researchers just exposed the scandal. After 17 years of clinical trials, barely bothered to track what patients were eating. Now we're seeing real cases of full-blown scurvy. Yes, the pirate's disease, bleeding gums, open wounds, total exhaustion. Up to 40% of your weight loss is precious muscle, turning you frail and broken. Forget the scale victories. You're losing lean muscle at terrifying rates, especially if you're over 40. This accelerates sarcopenia, osteoporosis, heart failure risk, and permanent metabolic damage. I'm not even going to comment on that. That's not my job. My job is to say, okay, you make your own decision. 40% of what you're losing on the shot is your lean muscle mass. Now, you're going to be skinnier temporarily, but if you ever stop the shot, you're going to gain it all back. They all have. So anyway, that's Rallison, here's the website, sorry. And again, Rallison, if you go there, we won't contact you. The only thing there is the medical proof. And if you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free consultation, a free coach. And the only thing, Rallison, you're buying on this is food from your grocery store, about 30% of what you spent last month. But the other 70%, the key to this, comes from these other researchers in these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, representing huge amounts of nutrition in small amounts of food. And then you're going to eat 5 days a week. You're going to have 4 meals a day. And 2 days a week, you're going to have 8 meals a day. The coaches will go over all that with you. I have to run, Rallison, but I just want, give me a yes if you understand. That's the website. Why does it say, .com? Yeah, Rallison, you're right. You got it. So, Rallison, do you understand? If you go to the website, we will not contact you on my kids' lives, my grandkids' lives. We don't do that. Rallison, we want to give you the confidence to look at the medical proof. You're all smart people. We shouldn't have to convince you about irrefutable medical proof. Rallison, this is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, and most of the journals are on the website for you to see. We're not hiding anything. We're totally transparent. We have nothing to sell you, Rallison. We all got coached for free. And the movement, which I started, called The New Health Conversation, which is the website, Rallison, we've helped 800,000 people just like you. If you want, I'll wait another minute or two. If you want to tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are, and your current weight, I will blow your mind at how much weight you can lose on this. That's sustainable weight loss, healthy, you're going to keep off for the rest of your life. If you want to do that, I will wait for you to tell me. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, are you male or female? I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't guess. And then how tall you are and your current weight, and then I'll tell you what you should weigh and how fast you can lose weight. Remember, we've worked with 800,000 people, so we have a pretty damn good idea about, based on male or female, how tall and their current weight. We tracked them. We know how much weight they lost, how fast, through 800,000 people. Not 8,000 or 80,000, 800,000 people. So Rallison, okay, I'm 4'11", 153. Okay, 4'11", Rallison, you want to be about 100 pounds. That's 53 pounds. Allison, get ready. Rallison, first 4 days, 5 to 7 pounds in 4 days. The first month, you're going to lose a minimum of 15 pounds. So right away, you're going to drop down to 138. The second month, another 15 pounds, 123. The fourth month, 108. By 4 months, you should be at your goal of about 100 pounds. Tell me, Rallison, how excited would you be about those numbers? In 4 months or less, you're going to be at 100 pounds. Tell me. Actually, probably 3 months. 45 pounds. Let's say 3.5 months max, you're going to be at 100 pounds. Rallison, put it in the chat. Now are you excited to go to the website? I'm glad I waited for you. So just give me a yes so I can leave, Rallison. I need to go, but I'm not leaving until I want to hear your comment. Are you excited about those numbers? I hope you're excited, Rallison. Those are pretty amazing numbers. And probably a number that you haven't seen on the scale in a little while. Yeah, good, Rallison. Okay. Well, Rallison, I invite you, go to the website. Hopefully you screenshot it. I think you did. I'll put it one last time. So it's, hold on here. So for all of you, there's the website. I just posted it one last time at the very bottom. You're all welcome to go there at your leisure. It's now 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I'll come back on today, probably around 12:30 Eastern time. I try and do 4 or 5 podcasts. I just got to rest my voice. Actually, I need to leave for a little while. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, and it's snowing out. Yeah, it's snowing like crazy. All right, everybody, thank you all for being here, and I invite all of you to go to the New Health Conversation, and we'll see you, or let other people know about it. The website is free for the world to go to. You don't have to be on my podcast to go to the website, The New Health Conversation. You got it, everybody? Thanks, everyone.